Hello there, Dragonfire here, and I have just finished watching the Ghostbusters new movie that came out, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I found this movie quite interesting. Um, I don't think that it is bad at all. I think it's pretty good. Um, it was interesting. They put it all together. I think when I first turned the movie on, I wasn't really necessarily in the best of moods, but it eventually won me over. Um, it was fun. It was fun. That's all I can say about it is it was fun. They introduced some new elements. I think that in this movie they're really world building. Um, One thing that did annoy me, and I talked about this when I reviewed the other Ghostbusters movies after the original, is that they still seem to live in a world where people are very skeptical of the existence of ghosts despite all of the evidence. Um, at least to an extent, like they're in this movie, they're still asking people, "Oh, do you believe in ghosts?" And it's like, well, there's like a crap ton of evidence at this point, so everyone should believe in ghosts by this point because, yeah. Um, uh, if they make a sequel to this and they're still like, "Oh, do you believe?" And other people are like, "No, I don't believe in ghosts," and blah 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 blah. I mean, the entirety of New York City just got frozen in this one. So anyway, um, yeah, it was fine. It did it did its job. Um, you know, nothing about it really super stood out. It was just a fun movie to watch. So I think where I would put it, because I did before I did a review of the other movies, and I don't think I need to explain what happens in the movie. Their monster shows up, ghost thingy, that his gimmick is freezing people. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nothing super special about it. It's just you want to see the Ghostbusters fight more ghosts. They introduced some new characters to go on with their legacy characters from the previous three movies. Of course, the 2016 movie is not in the same continuity as the others. Now, there was something that I kind of believe that might happen with this movie, and that is that they might, like, at some point open a portal to another dimension and um maybe they do some sort of crossover so that they could have like the female Ghostbusters from 2016 cross, you know from the remake movie crossover and whatever, and so they could get all the Ghostbusters in one movie, that they might do some interdimensional thing, like they did with the different versions of Spider-Man. They've done that in both animated movies and in live action movies with the different versions of Spider-Man opening portals to alternate realities, and you have all the different actors who played Spider-Man and so forth. Um, and I still wouldn't rule that out as a possibility of something that they might do in the future with the Ghostbusters franchise. But um, you know, there was nothing like that offended me about this movie, but there was also nothing like, oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen. Nope, it was just, yeah, it was a fun movie. I had fun watching it. It's cool. It's gonna go with my other Ghostbusters. I actually don't own the 2016 one. If I found it for a cheap price, I'd probably buy it. But yeah, it's good. So where am I gonna rank it? Where am I gonna rank this one? Um, let me give my quick ranking real fast. So I still even I the other day the 2016 Ghostbusters one was on TV and I watched it. Or I watched bits and pieces of it, and actually the jokes landed for me when they were in isolation, when I wasn't kind of watching the entire movie, but I just caught that, some of the jokes actually did land, and I laughed a little bit. But I still have to say that the remake is Answer the Call, whatever the so I believe the subtitle is Answer the Call 2016, whatever you want to call it. That's still gonna come in last place for me. So now that there are five movies, that bumps down one down to number five. So then kicking off my Mount Rushmore is going to be Ghostbusters 2. Sorry, Ghostbusters 2. You bring back the original cast. It's only 5 years later. But man, does that movie have some problems that really knock it down for me. I I talked about that in my review originally, so I'm not going to retread all the problems I have with Ghostbusters 2. That's going to be my number four. But when you got a movie that's only or a franchise that's only five films, that's still, I guess, Mount Rushmore. Um, and then I'm gonna put this movie as my number three. Yep, this my movie gets my bronze medal. To me, it's the third best Ghostbusters movie. It doesn't have um, it doesn't have the just stupid decision of being a remake, which they never should have done with Ghostbusters. It doesn't have that. It's not a remake, it's a sequel. It doesn't have the stuff, the big, huge mistakes that they made with Ghostbusters 2. But it's not about the other two movies on the list. So, yeah, I'll put it in third place, um, which means that Afterlife is still my second place. It's such a breath of fresh air, refreshing to get back to the main series and the way that they put it all together as a continuation was really good. So Afterlife is still my number two, and I still haven't seen a movie in this franchise that can beat the original. So the original Ghostbusters is still my number one. All right. I'm going to keep this one short. God bless everybody. Dragonfire out.